Shamshawan. About to bring you another class here with Wednesday Wisdom. Hold on. The Wednesday Wisdom, bringing out this information. Slot. I'm trying to get this loaded up over here. I don't know if it didn't come up. There we go. Wednesday Wisdom, bringing out this. Oh, there we go. All right, Shalom, everybody. I'm your Captain Conception One, bringing you another Wednesday Wisdom class here at the Light of Zion. Uh, Quick announcements. As you know, every Tuesday we got that Bring It Out show. Bring that out. So tune in. We coming through with hot topics. Just like you, if you got your breakfast club in the world, this is your new breakfast club in a sense. The Bring That Out show. You got your powerful Chief Minister Shalimar, powerful Captain Amawan. We got DJ Baruch in the building. He missed yesterday, but most high willing, he will be in attendance next week. I'm the engineer running the cameras and the microphones in the show. Hey, tune in. We got hot topics coming each week. We got the thing we dealing with now is nation building. That's a little series we got going on. So everything, a couple of those videos, go back and check them out with how we build a nation up and how we should be building our nation up. We got the Wednesday Wisdom class here at Wednesday. Tune in. Thursday is our soldiers class. So if you are in the area, if you're in the Tri-County area, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Dade County, stop by the school. This is for the men. The men need to stop by so they can get this good information and understand how you need to move and operate in this world. Shalom, family, for logging in. So not tune in, but try to stop off at the school for Thursday for that class and get that good information in. Captain Zamar is running that. If you ever paid attention to Lee County, that's one of the powerful captains up there. Zamar comes down and teach the class for soldiers. Tune in Friday with the history. Powerful Captain Monitor Zak always coming through with the good information, giving you quizzes and tests, making sure you paying attention, because if you don't know your history, we will doing and repeating in a sense. So you already understand that. So tune in. Either him or Elder Bishop Lapalau will be doing that class dealing with the history. Saturday is our Shabbat services. So tune in to all our Shabbat services through all our different schools. We got Shabbat service here at headquarters. We got Shabbat service at Treasure Coast. So if you are in the West Palm Beach area near Jupiter and up in that area, go to that school. Day service start at 1 o'clock. Get in contact with Minister Marshall or Captain Bayah for Captain Aina, so you can understand where the address at, so you can come in and break bread with them for the Shabbat service. If you are on the west coast of Florida, like the Tampa area, Lee County, Port Charlotte, and those areas, meet the brothers up in Lee County, as they got a school that they put together there that with the help of the family with donations, and them brothers put in hard work, donating their time and their money to get that school right. We now have a place that they can worship at in Lee County. All praises to the Most High for that. Dade County, so if you are in Miami, Homestead area, Coral Gables, down there in South Beach area, go ahead, get in contact with Captain Amawan as he do their Shabbat service down there. They at a brother's house right now because the weather might not permit them to be out at the park as they was, but they trying to get to school and they looking for a school down there. So if you can help them out, help them out. Get in contact with LOZ Dade County, look through the pages, hit the link, send them brothers a little donation if possible. $7 is what all the brothers are asking for with them trying to build a school up. 7 is for perfection. So most high willing that you can donate if you can. If not, hey, send a care package. That would always help as well. Water. So we got a sister that sends little water packets that we drink those heavily. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Soon, most high willing, we'll have our school up and running in Georgia. So the brothers that's up there putting together the work and trying to find them a spot. But right now they do congregate in Georgia. So hit them brothers up there. Highlands County, that's closer to more Pensacola area. We got them brothers there that might soon be building up a school there, but they travel all the way to West Palm Beach to deal with the brothers in Treasure Coast. So just tune into all these different camps and different videos we have coming up daily, so you can understand what we got going on here at the Light of Zion. Most high willing, we soon will be going international, and one in Haiti, one in uh, Puerto Rico, I believe it's Puerto Rico. So Most High willing, that's all in the Most High's will if that happens. But as of now, let's dive into it. We about to dive into, we'll grab some scriptures. We about to dive into it today. The name of the class is Stand Up on Your Own. Stand on your own feet. Get that out of the way. Stand on your own. So, reason why I titled that class that, if you watched the class yesterday, you seen how we touched on how people like to deal with this system, dealing with the so-called white man system and everything he got going on. And people love running to him, even when it comes to our marriages and dealing with brotherly splats. We need to deal with each other. We need to come back, start keeping these commandments, and deal with each other. Find elders that's been rehearsing these righteous acts for many moons and many years, and get with these brothers and understand how we're going to build this nation back without the help of another nation. So without further delay, I should say, let me get Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. Let me grab it real quick. Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of a Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Abba by him. As you know, we always start our class out with that scripture, so you understand that whatever we do in our words and our deeds, we always going to give praise and honor and glory to the Father that's in heaven in the name of a Mashiach Yahushua. So I'm about to get it started. And the scripture that I always like to use in dealing with this, and I'm going to break down Lamentations, really. I'm going to just be in Lamentations and going through that understanding in that scripture so we understand what's going on. And the same thing is happening today, so there's no getting around it. Then I'm going to start off after the rip, dealing with standing on your own. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, and our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. That's self-explanatory. We always looking for a nation to help us out when we should be helping ourselves out. We should be policing our own communities. We shouldn't want them to police our communities. We should be trying to find a way to where we can loan money to each other without usury. Well, I'm going to loan you this, but I got to put a little bit of tax on top of it. Other nations of people don't do that with each other. They'll do that to the other nations outside of their own nations when it comes to taxing people on how they're going to get a return on their money. But we shouldn't do that to each other. We should automatically be able to lend a brother a helping hand, and that brother should understand, hey, I got to pay this brother back in a timely fashion. And that's how we keep the money within our own community. Right now, they got the movie going on, Rosewood. So if you even got a chance to look at that movie, Rosewood, you need to check that movie out on how they tried building up themselves, but even they got to a point where these heathens going around killing us and murdering us. The next scripture says it all too. They hunt our steps, and you can't get around that. They do hunt our steps. When we come out the house, most people don't even like to interact with police, because when you hear that siren, especially if you drive, when you hear that siren, your heart pump a little different. Your palms start getting a little sweaty. You can be doing nothing wrong. It's the fact that you know, like, damn, they might harass you. So certain people even buy cars that they know the police might not pull over. So back in the day, I used to drive a Cadillac, and that Cadillac constantly kept getting pulled over. I can be doing nothing wrong. It's the fact that they'll see me. Oh, that's a Cadillac. He got to be doing something wrong. Bust at you and try to pull up on me and try. No, before I already knew what they was doing, so I'll pull to the side and just wait for them. Throw them off. I'll always be one step ahead. Yep, you think I might run and keep trying to drive? No, I already know what you're trying to do. Why go through that? Let me just pull to the side, have my license, registration, everything ready for you. Here you go. As soon as they walk, well, damn, what's going on? What you mean what's going on? I know you turned around and stopped me. It's just that simple. I understood that, but I'm not about to let you try to get an upper hand on me. What'd you say there, Art? Blacks are 3 times more likely to be killed in police interactions than other races. And he's right about that. He's right about that. But why is that, though? We already know why. The laws they created were not made for us. Everything they did has nothing to do with us. It's for them and their people. So we got to understand that as a group of people. And I'm gonna try to figure out a way where I can start showing videos with my content. Shalom, family. To show videos with my content, because the powerful brother just showed a video earlier today to where these young black kids was in Target. White man walked up and grabbed the autistic kid. He had autism. Grabbed the police. The white dude told the police officer, "Oh yeah, he's in here stealing." Man didn't have nothing in his pocket. He's holding his wallet in his hand like, "I got money. I don't need to steal. And why y'all grabbing me?" But that whole interaction where they dealing with young kids, they didn't ask what the parent was. They didn't try to deal with the parent. They just automatically assume, "Oh, he's stealing." Then, and the interaction, they don't come up and ask and deal with us in a polite manner. They just automatically assume the worst. They got another video where a young brother in the bank, brother just trying to cash a check, and they done call the police talking about, "Oh, it's a bogus check, it's a fake check." They don't call it to verify if the check is good or not, but yet he's in there trying to cash the check. And when the officer walk up to him, "All right, man, put your hands behind your back." Well, dude, you didn't even ask me no questions. What's going on? And by the time the man couldn't even ask, like, "What's going on? Why you just automatically assume that I'm doing?" He reached for his gun off rip. So when he automatically saw that, well, damn, I might as well put my hands behind my back. This is embarrassing. But it's always going to be embarrassing to us until we understand that we can walk into our own bank. And when I say our own bank, let it be a Hebrew bank. You feel me? Don't let it be a bank of just some brothers. Now, mind, we got black banks out there. But at the same time, when we're not doing nothing under the Most High, things ain't going to be right. Things ain't never going to come together and be like it should be because of what the scriptures say. But until we start living like we are in the kingdom by keeping these law, statutes, commandments, and treating each other properly, hey, then things can start to change. There'll be a power shift. Because the Most High is waiting for us to get right and get ready. If there's 12,000 sealed and from each tribe, guess what? These 12,000 from each tribe, especially the chosen, that 144, they're going to be on one accord. They're going to understand that we got to keep these commandments. We got to be doing this. We got to be looking out for the brothers, the family, the widows, the children, the orphans, all these things. All these things is part of the, how can I say it? It's part of the structure of Yasharallah. That's what it means to be Yasharallah, the prince of the power, where we're moving as a unit. We're moving as a nation should, to where the other nations look at us and be like, dang, they understand who they are, and the time is up. Russia and them over there trying to get their thing together, think they're going to be the next power, they're going to look and see, them, as they will call us, them Negroes is getting themselves together. Ain't nothing we can do about that. But let me go ahead and start at the top. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 1. We'll start at the top and I'm going to go through this one. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? Now, mind, we read this in one of the classes dealing with Bring That Out, but I'm going to go through the whole chapter and read down to verse 22 and touch on a couple of scriptures, precepts as I go through. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. We are the gold, and the gold has changed. We have changed from we're supposed to be the shiny glimmer of this earth, but we're not that no more. We have been changed. We're poured out at the heads of every street. So when you ride around, especially in our neighborhoods, you're going to find the young men and the sisters at the head of them corners, hanging out at the corner store, hanging out at the stores that belong to other nations. This is what we do. This is how you put a person in an awkward position. As it was bringing out last night, even if in a poor condition, when you got a person in a poor condition, more than likely they're going to steal, they're going to rob, they're going to do things to get themselves what they need to survive. Knowing that a lot of stuff we do go out and get, we really don't need it. But yet we go out and get these things because, as some people try to say, if you dress good, you smell good, you feel good, you might do good things, but not necessarily is always right. We go out and we'll commit the most atrocious acts because we looking good and feeling good, because we think we're untouchable. The only way to be untouchable is keeping these law, statutes, and commandments and doing what the Most High told us to do and what he instructed us to do from the very beginning. Let me keep going. Verse 2. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthling pictures, the work of the hands of the potter? Now we are the works of the hands of the potter, but we done turned from gold to now we just like a regular pot that's ready to break. We're brittle. Another reason why is because the Most High put us in this position because we didn't want to keep the commandments. He sent a fierce nation against us to break us down even more. But that nation going to get their just dessert, I should say, yeah, for doing what they did to us. It's like a conundrum for them anyway. That's what they was prepared and that's what they was created to do. Come out the water, Richard, for letting them know that. Subscribe, like, share, so this truth can be spread through the four corners. All praises. Verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughters of my people is become cruel, like the ostrich in the wilderness. So you got to look at yourself and understand, because people will think they're doing a great job. Again, we keep bringing these things out at that bring that out show. So and me, all I'm doing is just lambing back off what we said yesterday. So if you couldn't catch it yesterday, you're gonna catch it today. But I'm gonna focus on certain things throughout that what we talked about yesterday. And one of them things is our nation. One of those things is our women. One of those things is the men acting wild. We got to get ourselves right, meaning the men. Women got to get themselves right. But if the women come across a man that's right, don't try to belittle them, thinking like, oh, that's all you can do. What? Not knowing that the things you say out of your mouth, you will be judged for. Not knowing that you play a bigger role than what the man done did. The man understand that we done effed up because of the position. The Most High done put us in a position where our strength was taken from us. And y'all saw that. And because, I'm going to keep throwing it in your face, because of this here, this Willie Lynch syndrome that a lot of our people have, is why we done lost our minds. We out here acting wild and doing crazy stuff. But let me keep going. Let me keep going down. Verse 4. The tongue of the suckling child cleaves to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. One of the bread is food, but that bread can also be knowledge, understanding. This is what the men are supposed to be feeding the children. We should be feeding our children the knowledge, the bread of life, and that's these laws, statutes, and commandments. But it's hard for a man to sit in the household knowing that everything is out of whack, and it takes a strong, I ain't gonna even use the word strong. It takes a wise woman to understand that the situation that's going on in the world is that, yes, they put the so-called black woman on top of the black man. The scriptures talk about that. As a matter of fact, as I'm bringing that out, I was going to save a letter, but I'm going to bring and read that scripture now, so y'all can have that in your mind and know that this is the scriptures talking and not just me running my jibber jabbers. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O the backsliding daughters? For the Most High hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. That's a new thing in the earth right now. A woman has compassed the man, meaning she done passed the man. She's over the man right now. And that means the earth is tippy-topsy. It shouldn't be like that. And the earth is like that because our nation is not right. Once the woman can get back in her proper position, the man get back in his proper position, the children understand and follow orders, everything will be turned back on his right end. The Most High and Yahweh can come do what they got to do. But till then, till we get our family straight, the family structure straight, we're going to be in this predicament. And looking at, and they say Judah got to be the one to lead the pack. Looking at Judah, the so-called blacks, I'm Judah. I can understand. I look at my people and see the wildness they do. My people do the wildest things, but we got to get ourselves together. We can't stop the fight. We got to keep going and keep running. What you got for me? I'm going to go ahead and throw that one out there too. Because I just brought that out with the head of the street, so I'm going to bring that to him. Isaiah 51 and 20. Like a wild bull caught in the net. Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 20. The sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. As a wild bull in a net, they are full of the fury of the Most High, the rebuke of thy power. That's the rebuke of our power, having us at the head of all these streets. Well, we got to get our act together, get ourselves back right, and understand what's going on. And that's why we go stand on the same corners our people standing on, so they can't run from us. They try to run, and as you see the videos, they don't want us out there, but yet we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be in your face week in and week out, letting you know, get out of that situation. Come back. The Most High wants you. We ain't about to put a chokehold on you with our hands, but we're gonna put a chokehold on you with these words of the Most High. Let the words of the Most High compel you to come in, knowing that, hey man, what they talking about is truth, but that spirit in you is going to be fighting against it. It's going to be warring against it. Why? Because Hashatan got a grip on a lot of our people. That's why we send our prayers up that the Most High should put a righteous hedge around us, so that Satan can't put a hold on us like that we can't have a little breakthrough, that a seed can be planted, and that another brother or another sister can come through and water that seed with the words of the Most High, knowing that we should be keeping these commandments. And get back to Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 5. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. Right back to the streets, man. We're desolate in these streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. We was brought up in scarlet, and now we embrace dunghills. Do you understand how that is? How can a person that should be gold now want to play with dirt? We used to play with the finer things in life, but because we ain't want the Most High to give it to us and we want to be like the other nations, now we happy with playing with dunghills. We happy playing with doo-doo pies. And that's the crazy thing, that our people like that. Our people war over a block, a street, when you should be trying to regain back the whole earth. That's what that scripture is talking about. We used to rule the whole planet Earth. The whole planet Earth was made for our sakes. But yet our people want to, I just want this little street corner. I'm happy with this street corner, not knowing you should want more, because he created you to be more. But our people get lost. Why? The system done tripped us up. This done tripped us up. We got to come out of that. Let me keep going. Verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people. I'm going to read that again. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people. Because of what the women got going on, is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom. What they doing is greater than the sin of Sodom. And we know what the Most High did with Sodom. Let's read it real quick. I'm going to grab it, what he did with Sodom. Genesis chapter 19. What is it? Genesis chapter 19, verse 24. Then the other one rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Most High out of heaven. This is what he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. Brimstone, and what it said? Brimstone and fire rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah, as we know. And with these things being rained down, it was destruction because of what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah and them other cities as well. But now he's saying the daughters of his people, the sins they do is worse than that. And I'm going to keep bringing it up. All you got to do is check out the video where the powerful Captain #1, we on South Beach, and how them people was acting, how young men was acting. We out there trying to rebuke our young men, let them know, come out of that wickedness. The wickedness you are doing is bad. But yet, instead of the sisters, even though they dressed out of order, it's at the beach. I can understand, but they still got clothes, certain clothes you can wear when you at the beach that still cover up yourself. You're not in the water at that point in time. But being here in South Florida, and when you go down to Miami Beach, you're going to see all kind of wild stuff. Just because they feel like they can just walk around like that. Because society done taught them, hey, it's cool to do that. Because the other nations do it, our people want to do it. But mind you, on South Beach, you can see that Muslim woman, she will still have her head garb on and still be dressed to where you ain't about to see all my stuff. And she's at the beach as well. She be at work wearing her stuff. Our sister can do the very same thing. We got letters, Priest Han got letters that you can wear your fringes and pick out a dress as a nurse or in other fields as well. We got sisters that go work out and still have their dress on. There's nothing wrong with wearing tights up under your dress. When you got a little girl, this is one of the things how you should dress your little girl. Your little girl should have on tights and have a dress covering the tights so you can't see them things. But because of Pretty Woman, the movie Pretty Woman, that hooker walking around with stretch clothes on like she doing yoga, as they say, everybody got yoga pants on, but nobody doing yoga. So it's wild. Our people look at that, and that's the main type of clothes they want to wear now. I want to put on some stretchies and come outside. I want to let everybody know what I look like and how I do. But as the general, as Captain Yuckanon would say, medically and scientifically, a woman should have that area should not be covered up like that. It should want to breathe. That's how certain diseases and things happen. Look it up. That's all I can tell you. Look it up. Please don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Like I tell everybody, please go do your own research on anything I tell you, anything this school say here, go do your own research. And when you go and check it out, the facts, and you're going to be like, oh, wow, really? Dang. It's just that simple. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. We here to warn, and we also here to raise up young men. We also here to teach the daughters on how to be young women and be daughters and princesses. A woman shouldn't want to be a queen. A queen means she has to do work. A princess just sit back and act like the little girl on Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Kindergarten. I'm a princess. That's what you should want to do. That's what you should want to be. But tipsy topsy, everybody want to be a boss itch. I'm the queen itch. Queen bee, as that girl want to say in the song. Hey, but that's y'all. Soon y'all will understand. When as the brother put the fire up, I know he's doing the fire for one thing, but when that fire rain from heaven, you'll really see then what it's all about. Well, let me keep going. I'm going to start at 24 again. I'm in Genesis chapter 19, verse 24. Then the Ottawan rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Most High out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. But you already know the story. I'm going to keep reading just because. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. I just told you, keep going and don't turn back. But the woman thinking she know everything, I'm going to turn back and see what's going on. You hear what's going on. I'm pretty sure you can feel what's going on. When I say feel, I know you feel the ground trembling and rumbling and people screaming, and you want to turn around and say, what's going on? Being nosy. Being nosy. No, keep your head straight and let's get the hell up out of here. And when that time comes and we hopping on them chariots, I'm not turning around looking for nobody. I got my head straight ahead and I'm going forward. Yes, Most High. Yes, Yahweh Shai. Get on the plane. Yep. I'm getting on the plane. I ain't gonna be like, but what about? Nope, I'm not singing that song. I'm gonna let, hey, we all gotta strive to get our seat. As the priests like to say, You should be striving to be part of the 144. So if you miss the mark, you can land in the 1/3. But if you striving to be part of the 1/3, and if you miss the mark, you ended up in the 2/3. That's all I'm saying, man. So I hope saying that you should understand everybody should be striving to be part of the 144. Because again, if you miss the mark, all praises the Most High might allow you to land in the 1/3. But let's jump back to Lamentations. These are just tidbits, I tell you. So take it and go strive, man, and go do what you got to do. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 7. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was as of sapphire. And I got to pause there. Because some people will try to use that scripture, say, look, the Nazarites, the Nazarenes or the Nazarites, look, they're white. Just because it says whiter than snow. And then they use the word ruddy as a ruby. Look, see, he's red. See, Esau was red. No. It also brings out blue. So where's the blue people at walking around on the earth? Don't be redundant. All that's talking about is their attributes. Those are attributes and not how they look. But that's how our men were. Our men was just like that, but that done turned. It done went off because we went off. Their visuals is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaves to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. That means the death of our people. That's going into the aspect of we out there. We used to be this, but now we like this. We're the walking dead. We're zombies. That's what pretty much how I can explain that the best way. We're the walking dead. And I know y'all hear Israelites say this all the time when you look at these videos. These movies are based about us. We're the walking dead. We walking around dead. And not just us, a lot of these other nations too, because they've been fed, spoon-fed all this crazy knowledge, not knowing that they forefathers lied to them, and they're going to run with the lie. This book talks about how they should treat the people. And guess what? They treat them just how this book say, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're doing it subconsciously because these are the same spirits coming back into the earth. You done died, did what you did 3 generations, 4 generations past, you back at it again, doing the same wickedness and foolishness, perpetuating what this Willie Lynch book done described to do. But let's keep going. Verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with the hunger. I'm going to read that again. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. How do you want to die? By the sword or starvation? Starvation is a slow death. But mind you, dying from not having this word. Again, these scriptures can be twofold when you read them. And I'm going to keep going. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. They want the food but can't get it. Verse 10. The hands of the pitiful woman have sought their own children. Read it again. The hands of the pitiful woman have sought their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughters of my people. Proverbs 21:16. That's a good one. Now I'm going to hold that one there. Let me grab this one. Proverbs chapter 21:16. I'm going to come back to that and read verse 10 again. Salakli family, Salak. Hold on. Shalom, shalom, family. Sorry. I had one of my soldiers tick-knock-tock-tocking at the door. You know what I should have you do? And you got your bag on. You got your scripts on you?
Yeah.
Darn. Yeah, I want you to read. Darn, I'm trying to see. Is it one sitting up there? You know what? That's cool. That's represent the school. It's a garment over there. If not, represent the school real quick. Come on. I'm about to pull the soldier down to read for me. You got one? Nah, you good. Just rock with that. You got your phone on you? Oh, you got that Bible. Use that Bible. That one good. Sit down. See? All praise to the Most High. What? Oh, your Bible? Sorry, family. Sorry for the interruptions. I done broke it. Come on. Have a seat. I normally don't have a second seat sitting next to me, but today, all praise to the Most High, I had a second seat sitting next to me. Come on. I got my yeah, they can see you. I got my soldier here with me.
Shalom.
The brother that you might see in Lee County, bringing out the truth, standing on the blocks, reading, and powerful reader. So, grab Proverbs 21:16 for me. Proverbs 21:16. Shalom, family. Barzell Judah. Shalom. As again, the scripture. Shout out real quick to my brother. I know he changed his name, but you know I'm always call you El Yasharala. That brother there, he was a good help doing the Passover. All praises. My brother in Duval County coming in, Yahawada. I'm gonna call you Yahawada. I know what your name is though. I got really Bubble Man Judah. Come on, I'm gonna try to. Hey, all praise to the Most High. If we get one up there, you gonna be a soldier? You wanna be the link we use up there? I got the powerful Captain Cole online, Yataza Kyle online, Big Brother Richard online. I know there's many other brothers online as well, but hey man, drop your name. Let me know you're online. Everything is beautiful. You got that for me, King?
Yeah, 21:16.
Yes, sir.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 16.
Time.
That the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
So, and that's one of the things we can't have our brothers running out of the understanding, because if you do, you will be part of the dead, and that's a powerful scripture the brother brought up. And I'm gonna ask Yahawada, how far is Pensacola from there? I think it's about an hour ride, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know Bubba said he in Pensacola. Grab women. Deuteronomy 28:57 for me. I'm asking that question real quick because that's Barzell from he came to the Passover from Texas. Shalom family. And when you said that, I knew exactly who that was. Yeah, you in Texas? I remember. All praise to the Most High, you logged in, King. But Yehuda, I'm gonna say it like that so you understand who I'm talking about. Yehuda, what's how far is it to Pensacola? How close is it? Them two to each other? I forget. I'm not an elder. I know I got all these grays in my beard. I'm far from an elder. I got a lot of years to get there to be an elder. 300 miles plus? Dang, it was that far? Because I had a cousin in Pensacola. I used to go back and forth. Dang. But as a child, it seemed far, but that's about the same as coming from here to Jacksonville. Yeah, about the same. Damn, 3 hour ride? 3-4 hour ride? All right. Nah, because if Bubba Man Judah, if we could get up there and get something started up there, because Most High willing, boy, Georgia is right there. Georgia right there next to both of y'all. So I see how close Georgia is to where them brothers at setting up camp, and y'all can probably get with them brothers up there and see what the deal is, Bubba Man Judah. But we're gonna see. Deuteronomy
28:57.
No, do this for me. Lamentations 4 and 10. Read that one first. And then we're going to get Deuteronomy 28:57. So hold that. So yeah, let me get back. I got sidetracked real quick, but it's all praises, man. Because I'm going to let y'all in on something. I'm going to pause the class for a minute. I've got to pause it for a minute. Because I did a class dealing with finances, you feel me? So since my family owned, I'm going to let y'all in on a little, I'm going to call it a little lick, but it might be a good lick for y'all, you feel me? Right now, if you're trying to, because one of my coworkers put me on, a lot of people trying to go around and buy up property and try to get Airbnbs and rent out property and all that. Lamentations 4 and 10.
All right.
So, with that being said, a good, I'm calling it a lick because that's the lingo we use down here in South Florida. But a good business opportunity is trying to buy a property in Albany, New York. Albany, New York. You look on Realtor.com and other little things like Zillow. I wouldn't say Zillow, but Realtor.com, Remax.com. Look at Albany, Albany, Georgia, and see what property is going for. There's a nice big size property for $62,000, $64,000. I just seen 3-bedroom house sitting on a nice piece of land. You can't beat that right there, man. For $62,000 down here in South Florida, something like that that's going for $62,000 in Georgia, they trying to charge $250,000, $300,000 for a little piece of land like that here, and it's ran down. These spots in Georgia look nice, man. So, what you said? Albany, GA, right there, exactly. Albany, GA, Georgia. Property right there is nice. I don't know what the property looking like in Texas. My brother got a house in Texas, but I think he in Houston. So I don't know what the price is looking like down there. But a good spot, like I say, man, Most High willing, I can venture out and get me a couple pieces of property in Georgia. I might be in Georgia, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right there next to my properties, and hey, and set up school there. And I can venture out and come to Pensacola, come to Duval, and meet up with all these different brothers and everything. Because that is the dream right there, to where we don't have to work a 9 to 5. That we can punch our own clock, and at the same time punching our own clock, we can do the work of the Most High.
Right.
That's the key. That is what's the word I want to use?
Right.
That's the dream right there. That's the real, that's the vision. Without a vision, the people perish. Right. So that's the real vision right there, to really see that we can hone our skills and deal with that. Oh, Killeen, yes. Since Killeen, Texas is near the military bases and all that, because he was there for a moment as well, because he was in the military. Houston is high, but I think he got in when it was somewhat low, but because everything high is acting now, everything wild, man. Yeah. Everything is wild with these prices. But I digress. Let's get back on dealing with that.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 10. The hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children.
They have what?
They have sodden their own children.
They have sodden their own children. These are the pitiful women. Now, you shouldn't want to be called a pitiful woman. Just soddens your own children. Keep reading, King.
They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. The Most High hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger.
Pause right there. Now get me Deuteronomy 28:57. Because with the Most High doing that, and the daughters doing what they did, all they did is fulfill the prophecy that he already told us in Deuteronomy 28:57. I keep bringing this to y'all because people read this and think it automatically means that they're eating their children. The Most High literally meant that, but he also meant it in another way. How they destroyed their children in between their legs. Read that for me.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 57. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
And the enemy distressed us in our gates back in Jerusalem, where if you're hungry, that's why I just said earlier, it's better to die with the sword than the one with hunger. Right. It just told us that further up in Lamentations. Right. And y'all see, damn, how is that possible? Because I'm out, I'm done. I don't have to worry about it. But to die of hunger is something that's real wild, man. Right. And to where you don't want to die of hunger, and you looking at something like, man, I ain't no cannibal, but it's either you or me.
Right.
They done did. Now, mind you, I understand Esau is an animal, but when that plane crashed and some of them people died on that plane, guess what they had to do? They're in that wilderness, they're in that cold, but we trying to survive and get back to civilization. We gonna start eating the dead ones first. Right. The ones that's dead, we about to eat on them. Because you understand that, and people say, but they're righteous. How can they do that? We're Jacob. There's no way we can do that. No, we're going to do that. Only because flesh done took over. Right. Your instinct to survive done took over. When something like that, we can't say what we will do in that situation. You're going to sit there and be like, you know what? I'm dying. I'm hungry. And you looking at him, and you looking at that little kid, and, oh, man. Surely we can't do that. Right. Surely our instinct will say, oh, no, save the youth. But guaranteed you, there's going to be some wicked one that's going to like, no, man, I'm way more important than that youth right there. Right. We do that today when we look at each other walking down the street. Yep. So how can you say what you would do in that time when you ain't even doing that now in today's age? We can't just, as what's the dude's name? The singer. Never. Jaheim. Oh. Never say never. Because you might end up doing it. That's all I'm saying, man. You might think you're getting away with something, but you're not. Read that again in Deuteronomy.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 57.
Come.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear.
Paul, another thing that they do to the children that they bear, and that is said even in Lamentations, they sodden the children. No, I told y'all before, the number one killer of the so-called black race is abortions. That is leading above everything else. And I'm not about to hit you with a conspiracy theory either. I'm going to just leave that to myself. Because the Jewish dude said it one day on his little documentary on what McDonald's really where they get their food from, and I'm just leave it there. Keep reading.
For she shall eat them for want of all things.
She want everything, and one of the main things she want is life, so she is going to eat her children. Keep going.
Want them of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
Come on, I'll jump back to Lamentations for me. Oh, Ezekiel 5 and 10. Ezekiel 5 and 10. Yeah, bring that out from the king. Oh, I never found nothing here. Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 10. So we can't get, so we cannot get caught up in what's going on. You got it?
Yeah, come on.
Read that from me.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, verse 10. Therefore, the father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgments in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds.
And what he going to do with the remnant?
Scatter into all the winds.
Now, John, the Lamentations in 4 and 11 for me. So you just heard what the Most High said he was going to do, and that's through one of the prophets as well. He said it in Deuteronomy. He repeated himself in Ezekiel. It happened during the siege of many different sieges, especially the siege of Jerusalem. When after Christ, when he said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoke about in Daniel, and you see the city compassed and surrounded, don't come back. The people that's in the hills, stay in the hills. If you here, try your best to flee. This is what happened during that time. This is what happened, and this is how it went down. And you can't escape that. Read that verse 11 from me.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 11.
Come.
And the Most High hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire in Zion.
Pause. Isn't that exactly how Ezekiel just ended? You see how that go together? And you can't get around from when the Most High got an anger. His anger was kindled against Israel. He had to do what he had to do to show his power. Not just against the other nations, but to show, you see what I do to the ones I love? Imagine what he's going to do to them other nations who you don't really care about like that. Keep going.
and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem.
Pause. Now, mind you, and they wouldn't have believed this. This is what the scriptures let you know, because of the anger of the Most High. Because they saw what the Most High been doing for Israel all these years, and now he's going to enter into the gates. He's going to allow these enemies to do this to his people, to the jewel of his eye. That's why they understand certain things. That's why you'll read Judah 5:20, and they will say what they say there. Why they say that? Let's grab. You don't got that on your pocket.
No, I don't got no pockets a lot.
No, you good. I should have a little juice on this. Let me grab it for you. Now you can understand why he would say this in Judah 5 verse 20.
I think there's apocryphers under that.
Oh, don't worry about it. It is, but there you go. Verse 20.
Verse 20.
Con.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20.
Con.
Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
If there be what?
If there be any error in this people. And they sin against their Yahweh.
If they sin against their power, if we sin against the Most High, what?
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
They understand this. They understand how to destroy us. That's why you have pork in deodorant. That's why you got pork in soaps. There's no reason to put pork in deodorant in soaps, but yet they do it anyway. There's no need, as they say, and some brothers get all bent out of shape, mixed fabrics, and this and that there. Yeah, true indeed, we can buy that nice cotton and everything, but certain fine clothes, you're going to see is mixed with certain different things. It's 5% this and 45%. Now, me personally, I can't see a reason of doing a shirt like that. I'm going to give you 45% cotton and then make the rest of it
like nylon.
Or poly.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what the heck is that in it? Nylon. I never understood what nylon was, but back in the day, we used to rock these nylon shirts, bro.
Right.
We used to rock these nylon shirts like it wasn't nothing. Keep going.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
If there be what?
If there be no iniquity in their nation.
In their what?
In their nation.
Key thing, in our nation. It's not just one of us can get us through it. No, we have to do this as a nation. The same way Daniel, he was a good person. He was a wise man from his youth. But yet he still had to go in captivity because of what the rest of Israel was doing. Keep going.
Let my Lord now pass by, lest their Most High defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Before who?
Before all the world.
Even he understands that if we don't get ourselves together, if we do this, and they not committing sin, the whole earth gonna know about us. Because this is going to be spoken of in their scriptures. They're going to sing songs about how them boys went up against them and got destroyed. For example, O Yahweh, O Yahweh, he has triumphed royally. Yeah, that's the song. How he did them boys in Egypt.
Good.
It was a song about that.
Good. And Salah.
Yeah.
And you know the most important thing about this scripture, about this verse, even if you go down to 22, after he said everything, the part is they murmured to kill him after saying all of this. If they do not sin and Yahweh's with them, that we're gonna all die. They murmured to kill him after he said that. That's the importance. I think that's the key importance of us keeping the commandments. Because if we don't, he knows that we could have died. But if once we're following the commandments, we doing right by the Most High, we showing love towards thy brethren like thyself, then the Most High's on our side. Then who gonna beat us?
Nobody. And I hear, keep reading down. We're gonna get to that. Then. Keep reading down.
Verse 22. And when Acquire had finished these saying, all the people standing round about the tent murmured, and the chief men of Holofernes and all that dwelt by the seaside, and Moab spake, and in Moab spake that he should kill him. For say they, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel.
Pause right there. You see that? Because he hyped us up. Because he understood. This dude here understood, like, nah, man, hey, man. Now, mind you, the Most High done put this thing in his mouth and say, dude, you know if they doing this and they got this, but if they do this and they got this.
Right.
And it's like, man, why would you put the fear in the people and say something like that? Because now they think like that, now they in their head like, damn, are they keeping the laws of God? They don't know because they're not looking like that.
Right.
They're not looking at the aspect of us doing that or not. But certain other nations understood, and certain people in their nation understood, like, oh, nah, see, he did that to them because of what they was doing. Mm-hmm. I remember that time they got beat by these people over here because they didn't do it the Most High said. Right. They understood. They put 2 and 2 together. Right. But keep going.
Come on. Verse 23. For say they, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel. For lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. Mm-hmm. Now therefore, Lord Holofernes, we will go up, and they shall be a prey to be devoured of all thine army.
Because mind you, they always thought they can get us. They looked at us like we were weak, but not knowing we are a strong nation of people if we put our minds to it. But only way we're going to get that strength is from the Most High. To where it was one battle, we prayed with one hand and used our sword in the other hand in battle. How are these cats doing this? Because we always was the weaker vessel in a sense. When I say the weaker vessel, people outnumbered us. We could have took all our men to go charge in, but the Most High said, nah, I'm going to use a couple of y'all to go do this. Right. I just want to use a few of y'all so they can understand who I am and what I can do. Because the glory was always supposed to go back to the Most High. So the children of Israel wouldn't praise themselves. Look what we did. Look what we did. No, it was the Most High. And even now, when we do stuff, you got to send back praises to the Most High for these things, for the littlest things. I'm driving down the street the other day, and I'm looking at my brothers, because I'm going to say it. This lady walked, I was going to the post office, and I already saw how the lady was talking to one dude, so I already knew, dang, she needs some money for something. I don't know what it is, but I had to run into the post office real quick. Came out the post office, went to my car. I got in my car, I started it up, but I was going to back up to where she was at, give her some money. By that time, I already had my money in my hand. She knocking on my windows. When she knocked on my window, I just let down my window. Here you go, praise the Most High, man. Let my window back up. And in the process of me letting it back up, she wanted to cry because I ain't giving no small bill. Right. I gave her a nice size bill, you feel me? Because I said, man, all this is going to do is tempt me. I might go do something wicked with it anyway. So I see her, and it's one of my elders. So I got to do something for my elders off rip. So with seeing that, I just gave it to her, and I can hear her murmuring a little bit. Shalom, priest. I can hear her murmuring a little bit like, dang, all I need is like $12 more. I can go get this medicine. So when I heard that, I went ahead, stopped, got out my car, gave her the rest of it to go get the medicine. Now, and I told her when I was walking away, I was like, hey, so the Most High, praise the Most High, don't give me no glory or nothing now. I hope you go get this medicine, what you talking about. And I hope that medicine ain't no drugs. But again, she looked like she wasn't on drugs, so I went ahead and I did that out of the kindness of my heart. By the end of the day, as I drove, grabbed Judges 7 and verse 2, because the code just dropped the strip. But as I was driving away, you feel me, I'm looking at my other brothers on the block, and they down and out. And I just had to praise the Most High, all praise to the Most High. Every time that I done been homeless, I at least had a vehicle that I could sleep in, or I can use this vehicle to go to a job or get me some funds up. All praises for that. Because there was one time, especially when I was young and I left my mom's house, and I just left like, nah, I'm a grown-ass man. I got to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. I can't be a mama's boy sitting at home, as some people say. Because right now, in this day and age, certain men that should be out, they they up under their mama. I'm going to say it. They on their mama titty. They are on their mama titty. They mama, and I did DoorDash for a moment to see how, okay, I'm dropping food off. I'm looking for a lady. It's a 20-year-old, a 25-year-old. Oh yeah, that's my mama account. Dude, you don't even got your own DoorDash account, dude. You 25. These one, and you out on the block on top of it, so you know I'm already when I pull up like, I'm looking like, oh man, I'm in a bad neighborhood right now. Oh, Most High, don't have me do nothing crazy to these people if they try me. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at these situations of these people, and I'm like, dang, man. Because a car can take you a long way, not realizing it. A car, if you homeless, you can at least have shelter to sleep in. You feel me? You can go to a gym and wash up or whatever, or wash up different ways, but at least you have a car to somewhere that you're not in the elements. A job opportunity comes up, you can get to and from work. Or you could just go out and do day labor. You feel me? I done did day labor before, making $40 a day. But I did that and bumped my money up. So I was able to go get my own. But that's only instilled in certain people to get out there and do that. And I can only praise the Most High for that. That he was able to give me that strength to say, okay, go get it and not just be lazy, just sit at home.
Slothful spirit.
A slothful spirit. A sluggard. And just sit somewhere and just don't care. And just reach my hand out and live a beggar's life. I don't like asking people for stuff, even though that's what the brotherhood is for.
Right.
But even still, being in the midst of the brotherhood now, be down and out. But hey, I gotta show that hey, if I did it, you can also pull your bootstraps up and get it, man. And that's what it's about: pulling your bootstraps up and get it. All praise to the Most High. Now get that for me. What are you laughing at?
Hello, she gives him a $20 allowance.
Be quiet, man. Chill out, Cole.
7 and verse 2.
Con, we're gonna read verse 7.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 7 and verse 2. And the Most High said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give to the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vow themselves against me, saying, my own hand have saved me.
Okay, and that's one of the verses that's one of the stories I was bringing out, because in that time, that's what Israel would do. Not Israel would do, but that's what the Most High would do. I think he used 300 people that time, I believe, if not 5,000. It wasn't a large number to go take out a group of people.
And that's
like 10,000 or something, some wild number.
And it's a lot. That's where they get the movie 300 from.
Hey, I already peeped that.
I was about to say that. Where they get the movie from, the 300.
Hey, I was about to say that, how 300 people took on all the Persians.
All of what? It was supposed to be all of the Persians?
Yeah, it was the Persians. Xerxes talks about it in the scriptures, you feel me? So Xerxes in scripture, and they try to use a lot of this stuff, you feel me? But there was only one nation of people that can really be that strong. They try to use all these other nations like they were that strong. 300. It was 300 people. That's the code, let me in. And that was the 300 right there. Gideon and the 300. Right. And we about to go do this. You can't get around this, man. They use our stuff to try to go out and do other things which they can't do. Right. Only the Most High allowed us to do that thing. But as they say, art imitates life. Right. So jump back to one Lamentations for me. Chronicle, the movie 300. You be surprised the stuff you see in movies. You go right to the scriptures and find it.
If you really think about it, though, almost some of these great movies come from the Bible itself. They just try to make it look like it didn't originally come from the Bible.
But you know what I'm saying? You know how they can do that? When our people don't read. When our people don't read these scriptures, you can't not know that it wasn't there to begin with.
Listen, and it's funny that you say that about our people don't read. I was talking to my younger brother. He dabble in and out the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty much giving him the scriptures and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, listen, it's our people are so not willing to read the Bible that it's just ridiculous. Like, I could literally open up a Bible, cut out a nice clean box, and put almost $5,000 in that book, and put it in a bookcase, and have him search the house, and I'll tell them, I'll give you this $5,000 if you could look anywhere in this house for these $5,000. They won't even think about the bookcase.
No, you tell them like this, hey man, Most High got something for you, man. Read your Bible.
Yeah, Con.
And they'd be like, what? Man, please, man, you just talking, man. You just talking. And not knowing if they would have picked up their Bible and read
They would have seen what was inside.
They would have seen, like, oh, this cat here. Now, mind you, that's a story that's been told several times in. They used to say that in the Christian church, you feel me, on the Christian radio station. And never mind, I'm not even going to touch it. I ain't even going to touch it. Lamentations 4:11.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 11.
Con.
The Most High hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger. He hath kindled a fire in Zion, and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests that shed the blood of the just in the midst of her.
Pause. That her is just calling Israel, as you know, as the bridegroom.
Is the she.
That not the bridegroom, the bride.
Bride, yeah.
Israel is the bride. That's why I say her prophets, because as long as we know the prophets of the Most High are men. Hey, what happened here? Oh, that's what happened. Stop. The prophets of the Most High are men, so that's what it's going into that. But above that, the daughters, yes, that was talking about the so-called woman. But now it's talking about Israel in the whole. Keep going.
They have wandered as blind men in the streets.
Yep.
They have polluted themselves with blood, so that men could not touch their garments. They cried unto them, depart ye, it is unclean. Depart, depart, touch not.
This is this filthy, wicked place we at right now. We shouldn't want to touch the stuff of these other nations, but yet still we end up doing it. Keep going.
And when they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, they shall no more sojourn there.
So they among the heathen say, oh, we ain't going to do that no more. We ain't going to sojourn there. But yet we still do. Keep going.
The anger of the Most High have divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders.
And that's us. We didn't favor our priests. We didn't respect our elders. And as we brought out yesterday, as the dude hopped on the bus shooting up, more than likely he wasn't, he killed one of his elders, a person that could have been considered his older brother. If someone's 10 years your senior, that could be considered your older brother. Why is you shooting up the bus all willy-nilly? Keep going.
As for us, our eyes get failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
And that's what we're doing right now, dealing with there's no justice, no peace, and all this nonsense. This nation can't save us. We got to save ourselves. Stand up on your own. Keep going.
They hunt our steps. That we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven.
They are what?
Swifter than eagles of the heaven.
That's a clue of who our persecutors are. Keep going.
They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Most High, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow, we shall live among the heathen.
And that's what we should be, up under the shadow of the Most High. To being up under his shadow, meaning we are protected. That's the hedge it talks about. And I want to say Isaiah or Jeremiah, but I'm not going to pull it right now. Where that's what the man supposed to be for his household. We supposed to be the hedge. When that storm come, our family supposed to be able to stand behind us and nothing touches them. Keep going.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked.
And do what?
Make thyself naked.
You're going to make yourself naked with the sins you have committed against the children of Israel and against everything you're doing. Your shame is going to show.
Right.
Everything you do is going to show. You drinking of this power you got right now, and stuff, and your skirt going to be coming up. That's one of the things that Farrakhan said. Not Farrakhan, but I was about to say Muhammad Ali, but Malcolm X said in an interview. And then man like, dang, what you trying to do? You think he's a woman? No, lifting up the skirt is just a saying of saying that, dang, your
shame has been shown.
Yeah, your shame is going to show, because that's like a woman. You shouldn't want to look up under a woman's skirt.
Right.
But yet, in this day and age, we got Marilyn Monroe that want to stand on a grate with the wind blowing up so she can be,
Right.
And do the little pose nonsense. But keep going, King.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
Our punishment is going to be accomplished, and it soon will be. Keep going.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
This should be, I pray to the Most High, this is our last captivity. Because if the sky crack open and it comes, hey man, that white man show his face and he'll be like, what? Another captivity coming. That's all I can say. Hold on, let me see. I need that the Spartans, Greeks, kept new moon and the seventh day in Herod's book 6. These are the Israelites. I read that the Spartan Greeks kept new moon and the seventh day in Herodotus. That's a Greek word. Book 6. So mind you, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this because we gotta understand that the original Greeks, the original ones, were black.
We're Jews, right?
No, they weren't Jews.
They were just black?
They was black. I forget what nation the people was, but you gotta understand, we also mixed amongst all the nations as well.
Oh.
So with him saying that, because he's saying he can agree with that saying, because he's saying they kept the new moon, 7-day Sabbaths. So I don't know what book he's referring to, but he's saying you can mimic that with Maccabees 12, 4, 5, and 20 through 22. 20 verse through 22. But I'm gonna if you can, put the link to that book in the link to that book in the
chat.
In the chat. Put the link of that book in the chat. I might even see if I can order that book and get the PDF and try to do some history comparison. Get with one of the brothers here. Oh, brother Monetazak. Monetazak, he good with a lot of history, and that brother got a lot of facts on a lot of different things dealing with stuff like that. That's one of his gifts the Most High bestowed upon him, looking around and finding different little artifacts and different books and different things. So Most High willing, put that if you can find a book on Amazon or anything, put that link in the chat for me. I'm gonna keep the chat open because we're about to finish the class out. Does you read that last verse again for me?
Verse 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
And that's what's going to happen with the daughters of Edom. As it read on, as soon as it said about the eagle pursue us, it jumped right back to Esau, Edom, Idumea. These are this nation that, you see the book, Making of a Slave. You feel me? This is the technique they use, and Most High willing that we come out of this captivity with the victory. We shall overcome. Most High willing, man. We shall overcome. Hopefully, we can be marked in that number, as that song sings. You feel me? So I'm trying to wait for Ott to try to find that and drop it in. Drop that in the chat in the link. Darn, I wish I had the phone next to me so I can even put the phone number. I know I gotta reach out to a brother as well. I ain't forget about you, Ott. I don't know if you're looking right now. You might look at the class later. Judah Auto Sales. I'm still here. I ain't forget about you. I haven't forgot about you. I gotta reach out to you and try to get this thing handled with the situation. I would like to see you here at Soldier Class though, because I know you're in the Tri-County area. So Most High willing, Most High bestow upon you the spirit to stop by and break bread with your brethren and go over a few scriptures. You feel me? And just break that bread. Most High willing, I can make it up to Jayville or even Pensacola and break bread with them brothers there. Most High willing, I can go out to Killeen, break bread with the brother Barzell, not Barzell, Bezalel, and break bread with that brother because the brother came to the Passover, and the brother came to the Passover from all the way from Texas. So
you which brother?
The goals.
That was Fred. That was with the. That had the He was wearing like a black
I think so. I think it was black.
Jumpsuit? Like not like a jumpsuit, but it was a type of garment. I can't explain it, but that garment was nice. There was a brother that was wearing a nice garment in there. Is that the brother?
I think that was him. Because his garment was nice.
Because that brother was clean.
He had goals in his mouth. That's the main thing that stood out to me. I was like, oh, look at this brother. He seemed like a young brother, but he looked like he around my age. So I ain't no elder, man. Remember that? I'm no elder. I got the grays it's just because dealing with my soldiers here, they gave me these grades. They stressing me out sometimes. I used to have a full head of hair when I came here. So, hey, man. Yehuda, come on, man. I want you to drop that link for me, man. If not, I'm going to have to try to search it out by what you gave me. So all praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. With that, I'm going to say shalom to the family, the water for logging in, the water for tuning in with me. I saw a lot of people coming in and out of the chat room. Next time you come in, just don't drop a like. Let me know who you are and where you're from, man. All praise be to the Most High, that this truth can spread through the four corners of the earth. Hey, man, Most High willing that we can keep this thing going and we can be even bigger and better. I'm trying to update my equipment I use so I can plug in videos that I see online and do some of the reaction video and use that as a teaching tool as well. Good. And with that, I'm going to say shalom to the family, the water again for logging in. May the Most High keep his righteous angels encamped around you that you can escape the fiery darts for Hashatan. That send down the healing angels, like I already said, that it can restore the brothers and the sisters, the Aguafium and the Akium, back to their natural health. You already know who the main one I'll be asking about. You feel me? Because I want to see her. She be coming here and doing a great job. I love to see that, and I love to see Most High restore her to her back to her natural, youthful self, running her kids ragged, letting them know, hey, get right. So that's a powerful thing to see a mother doing that with her kids. That let her know that she love her kids. So you can't beat that. That's still a beautiful thing to see, and I love to see that. All praises to the Most High. All right, Khan. Put it in the comments for me then. All right, Khan, the water op. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, family. The water for logging in and tuning in with me. Shalom. Can I get around there? Got my mic up.